Right, well, hello everyone, this is Crypto Corner. A few things that I spotted today that I feel are quite important. Of course, we're going to look at the market as well, as we always do. And I'm going to keep an eye on comments in case there's any questions or anything that you want to ask me, drop in the comments below. Also, let me know if the sound is not coming through or anything like that, any problems. I've had some problems in the past, but I think I managed to resolve everything. So for the last couple of live streams, I haven't actually had any technical issues. So hopefully for those of you who are watching live, you will be able to alert me about any problems, anything like that. And for everyone else who is watching this on repeat, don't forget these episodes are only staying on my channel for a few days, 3 days currently. I might extend it to 5 days, but currently just 3 days, and then I'm taking them down because I have a lot of content on my channel and it gets a little bit difficult to navigate and to find videos. So educational videos and videos that are tutorials and things that need to stay there and need to be found easily, these are the ones that are going to stay. The news, well, they're getting old after a few days, so that's why I'm not going to be keeping all of these videos on the channel. However, they will be on my website, on my blog, which is crypto-corner.com. You can see it here on the top of the screen right now. You can see it here, crypto-corner.com. Okay, so this is where you can go and you can see the older episodes if you missed any and if you want to watch them. Right. So let me quickly go through the headlines for today's video. What am I going to be talking about? There are a few things, as I mentioned. This is the Crypto Corner Daily, and of course, today's headlines, today's news that I find important are listed here in my e-paper. There is a let's start from the Bitcoin's block size is too big, says the main developer of the blockstream, Samson Moe. And Facebook, the crypto Libra, the Facebook-backed crypto Libra, is going to be forked. There will be an open source, open Libra, as they call it. I'm going to talk about that. But of course, the main news, first, I'm going to touch on the Tether that is having another problem now with another report, another court case about fraud, which we've had quite a few of these in the last few years, and the markets. Last couple of days actually has been like that. It's I wouldn't really call it a out season yet, stagnant for the last few days, even though today it made a jump. In fact, today Bitcoin has gone up by a few $100s, but it's not really a significant jump. So right now it is almost 8,600, slightly less than that. It was 8,600 just a few hours ago. So that is 4.5% up from yesterday. In the last week, however, it's only 3%, which is not really a lot. But we're seeing that a lot of the altcoins are doing much better. MCO, for instance, with 18% increase. Maker with 19.5%. Link is doing well with 9%. Crypterium is doing well with 16% increase. Digibyte is doing well with also 16%, Binance 10%, Bitcoin SV 10%, Ethereum Classic 11%, Hollow is doing well 16%. So yeah, a lot of these altcoins are actually doing quite well at the moment. And I mean, many people are hoping that this is a trend that is going to last. I personally don't think so. Personally, I'm expecting Bitcoin to do another dip before it actually starts going up. And if Bitcoin does another dip, then that will drag the altcoins as well. So currently Bitcoin had a small pump and that helped the altcoins. But or if Bitcoin starts a bull run, it jumps to 9 or 10,000, which I don't anticipate in the next few days, but if it starts a bull run, it will also hit the altcoins because they can't really keep up. So I would say right now is good time to do a little bit of selling if you have entered positions in these altcoins when they were lower, just like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. We see that in the monthly, a lot of these are actually on the red. So maybe if you entered this a month ago or earlier, that you wouldn't really have profits. But if you entered them a week ago or even 2 weeks ago, it's possible that, or even just a few days ago, it's possible that you're making some profits right now. So maybe think, and it's probably a good time to sell a little bit of this and wait for the next dip, because I'm quite convinced that we will be seeing another dip. Let's not forget that with altcoins, for you to really experience, for us, to really experience a out season, a strong jump in the altcoins, we really need the Bitcoin dominance to weaken, and it's not yet weak enough. Currently, the Bitcoin dominance is at 66%. It's actually slightly up from yesterday, and last time I did in my last episode, it was still just going on a significant slide down, but right now we are seeing a slight recovery. We're going to see what's going to happen in the next few days, but we really need that to weaken. We need it to break down from, currently it's at support level here, so it's holding around this support. I'm kind of expecting it to break down a little bit and to go to the lower support, which is at 64%. That's not even going to be enough. To be frank, for a proper out season, we really need to see Bitcoin going down below 60%. So somewhere it needs to go to this support level, it needs to break down from this. And once it breaks down to 60 support level, then we can really think of a kind of a more major out season. So this is what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. I'm not really sure whether this is going to happen anytime soon, because now we're also entering the last quarter of the year. Historically, the last quarter has been quite good for Bitcoin and for the overall crypto market, but for Bitcoin particularly. So I don't really know whether we should be expecting an out season, a proper out season where Bitcoin is stagnating and it's going sideways for a long period of time, so that the altcoins can actually experience a boom. Right, so we'll see if that is going to happen. Now let's start with the news, and the first one is that Tether is accused of fraud and market manipulation. Nothing new. This is something that, we've seen these claims and court cases happening over the last couple of years. There is a new court case now, a new lawsuit that claims that Tether created the largest bubble in human history, as they say. The US crypto exchange Bitfinex, which is associated with Tether, and it's in charge with the issuance of the digital stable coin, is being taken to court. Last December, in fact, there were positive news regarding these claims because they were circulating ever since 2017. So finally, by the end of 2018, we saw some sort of audits coming through. There was an audit that was authored by the Fritsch, Sporking and Sullivan LLP, concluding that there are enough reserves to back the token entirely. But later, that report clarified that it was not a full audit of Tether, and that it had reviewed figures up to June 2018. Since then, however, the company has issued hundreds of millions of new tokens, and as it stands today, their reserves have not been confirmed. As reported by Bitcoin.com, a new lawsuit against the operators of USD Tether accuses them of creating the largest bubble in human history and causing well over $1 trillion in damages. A class action lawsuit against the operators of Tether and the Bitfinex exchange has been filed on Sunday with the United States District Court and for the Southern District of New York. The lawsuit accuses the group of managing a sophisticated scheme to defraud investors, manipulate markets, and conceal illicit proceeds. The lawsuit claims Tether created the largest bubble in human history and goes on to state that Tether issued extraordinary amounts of unbacked USDT tokens to manipulate cryptocurrency prices. Because the market believed the lie that 1 USD Tether equaled 1 US dollar, Bitfinex and Tether had the power to, and did, manipulate the market on an unprecedented scale to profit from the boom and bust cycles they created. The lawsuit states that from 2017 to 2018, Tether printed 2.8 billion USDT tokens and used it to flood the Bitfinex exchange, which artificially inflated demand for cryptocurrencies and caused prices to spike. Economists cited the fallout from the crash when the USD Tether infused bubble burst continues to affect the cryptocurrency market today by causing prices to be lower than they would have been if it weren't for the market manipulation. And Tether and Bitfinex are set to continue to defraud the public these days, even in the face of an ongoing investigation by the New York Attorney General, the CFTC, and the Department of Justice. As for the potential compensation or settlement that this class action is seeking, the lawyers state that calculating damages at this stage is premature, but they could surpass 1.4 trillion US dollars. This is the amount of compensation that they seek. Tether, in fact, issued a statement a day before the news about the court case leaked. And this is the statement here. Let me open it, and I'm going to quote a little bit from it. So this is the statement. I actually have it linked. Of course, everything is linked in the description below. So if you want to find out these sources for yourself and go through these documents and everything, please do. You can find the links. So they're saying that these baseless accusations are an attempt to undermine the growth and success of the entire digital token community, of which Tether is a key part. It is an attack on the work and dedication of not just Tether's stakeholders, but thousands of our colleagues too. Launched in 2014, Tether was the first blockchain-enabled platform to allow traditional currencies to be tokenized, allowing users to transact with fiat currencies across exchanges without the volatility associated with digital currencies. By introducing a fiat currency gateway to the Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchains, Tether made and continues to make a significant contribution to a more connected ecosystem by providing instant global transactions, coupled with price stability. Tether and its affiliates have never used Tether tokens or issuances to manipulate the cryptocurrency market or token pricing. All Tether tokens are fully backed, they claim, by reserves and are issued pursuant to market demand, and not for the purpose of controlling the pricing of crypto assets. So this is their statement. Tether is the biggest stable coin in the whole of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, with a market cap of 4.1 billion. No other stable coin compares to it in terms of market cap, of course, or trading volume. In fact, USD Tether's trading volume has been billions higher than Bitcoin for a while now. So yes, Tether has had a wild success in the crypto ecosystem, while other stablecoins are struggling to get out of its shadow. What do you think about this claim? I'm curious to know. I'm going to give you my view. I mean, personally, I don't really agree that USD Tether was solely responsible for the Bitcoin bubble that occurred back in 2017. Here's my take. USD Tether was at the time the biggest and probably the only one stable coin that was trading, that was basically a digital version of fiat. And it was really facilitating the volume of trading with Bitcoin against fiat, even on the unregulated exchanges that were not able to actually have fiat. But there were already quite a few exchanges that were offering Bitcoin to fiat trading. So there was also quite a lot of volume that was happening with fiat money, not only Tether. Let's not forget that I'm personally at the opinion that probably the biggest reason why we saw such a huge spike in the price of Bitcoin and that bubble that occurred in 2017 was in fact the introduction of the futures markets, and also a lot of investors, a lot of institutional money coming into the game with the biggest futures markets, the Chicago and the New York futures markets, Washington. These were markets that really created a lot of hype. And with that hype, the prices went through the roof. As soon as the futures markets opened, they crushed the prices, because it was literally the same day as the futures markets opened that people started betting on shorting Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm personally at the opinion that USD Tether, even though it facilitated the bubble, it is not solely responsible for that bubble and the consequences that we're still suffering today. So this is personally my take. I'm curious to know what you think, so leave a comment below when you watch this video, and let me know what is your take. Do you agree with that, or do you think that Tether is really to blame for that bubble? Now, the next one, Facebook-backed crypto Libra is to be forked to Open Libra, announced at the DevCon 5 in Japan today. Prominent blockchain developers will be forking the blockchain of Libra to create something known as Open Libra, which will be open source. Lucas Geiger, co-founder of blockchain infrastructure startup Wireline, has announced that Open Libra will be a permissionless hard fork of Facebook's planned stablecoin. Open Libra's developers have already released the first version on a permissionless Libra-based virtual machine on GitHub. According to Christine Kim, a CoinDesk reporter covering the event, there will be no token sale, equity, or company behind this project. It will be an open source, and the weird thing is that it will be a cryptocurrency that will be pegged to Libra. Kim reports that Geiger Lucas said the following about Open Libra's virtual machine model. We're taking the Move virtual machine and placing it on top of Tendermint. You will be able to run a state machine with the Move language and get your state replicated with permissionless consensus. The project has already received some pushback, however. There are concerns due to the fact that this tactically lends legitimacy to Libra, which, by the way, the whole cryptocurrency community, the whole crypto space, did not really welcome it. It wasn't well received by the cryptocurrency community because of its perceived centralization. The same way as Ripple, XRP, is not really well received with the cryptocurrency community because of its perceived centralization. As reported by Cointelegraph, Brad Carlinghouse, the CEO of blockchain payments network Ripple, thinks that Facebook will fail to launch its Libra digital currency before 2023, even though it is supposed to launch in 2020. The Libra Association has I spoke about this in the previous video. It's responsible for governing Facebook's proposed cryptocurrency, and it lost a key partner, PayPal. This was one of the topics in my previous episode. PayPal moved out of, it was the first one to leave the Libra Association. And it's not the last one. There's also rumors about two more partners possibly leaving. And on top of that, it's also lost its product chief, the Libra Association. According to a report by media giant CNBC, Simon Morris, who was the product chief of Libra Association, have left the organization in August, and this is according to his LinkedIn profile. The departure is the latest sign of trouble for Facebook's proposed cryptocurrency. Morris was only in the role as an interim basis, according to the person who is reporting this, and it will not be replaced until the association finds a permanent managing director. So this is about Libra. I've been actually talking about it in the last 3 episodes of Crypto Corner because there's been a lot of hype about it. So many people are actually holding the breath on Libra. I even had people asking me how can they invest in Libra. And in fact, I told them you should not be investing in that because it's a stable coin. There is no really value in, holding a stable coin. Anyway, the next news. Ethereum Foundation is the first to donate to the brand new crypto fund, which is started by UNICEF. Today, UNICEF added a cryptocurrency fund. It's actually helping the cryptocurrency adoption because this is something, UNICEF is quite a big company, very well-known charity. So it was announced at the Ethereum Focus Conference DevCoin 5 in Japan today again via a press release published to the United Nations organization. The UNICEF Cryptocurrency Fund will now be able to receive, hold, and disperse donations of cryptocurrencies, Ethereum and Bitcoin. So Ethereum and Bitcoin are the 2 cryptocurrencies that will be added to that fund. The cryptocurrencies received by the fund will be allocated towards open source technology benefiting children and young people around the world. Increasingly, unlike some other crypto-focused charity initiatives, the fund will be distributing cryptocurrencies, not the fiat obtained from the sale of Bitcoin or Ethereum donations. So they will actually be holding and distributing the cryptocurrencies. So this is why it's major, because unlike other charities that actually receive donations in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, they actually have to sell them and operate with the fiat version, the fiat amounts from these donations. Here with this crypto fund, they will be actually working with the Bitcoin and Ethereum donations directly. This is a huge step to crypto adoption, I feel, but it's not the first one, and it's not the first example of relationships between crypto and charities. As reported by CoinDesk, Fidelity Charitable recently released an annual report that it has received more than $100 million worth of crypto asset donations since 2015. Last year, Brian Armstrong of Coinbase revealed that he had signed the Giving People, a formal declaration of charity targeted at billionaires created by Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Armstrong is also behind Give Crypto, a charity aimed at distributing cryptocurrencies to people in need, which has already gained lots of traction with the CEO of Ripple, electric coin company, Bitcoin.com, BitMEX, and many other crypto startups donating collective. Binance announced that it will be donating all the listing fees from the cryptocurrency projects that pay them to be on the platform into various charities. So there's a lot of charities going on with crypto, and even when the Notre Dame in Paris, the church, the famous cathedral, was damaged in the devastating fire, the cryptocurrency community banded together to donate tens of thousands of dollars. So yes, there's been a lot of charitable work that has been happening with in the crypto space. This is actually the UNICEF tweet where they're announcing this initiative, this crypto fund, and I personally feel that this is quite a significant thing in order to facilitate and to expand crypto adoption. And now the last news for today is that the Blockstream's main developer, Samson Mow, is saying that Bitcoin's block size is too big already. Capacity may not be required in the future. He backed his claim by saying that with the progress of off-chain scaling solutions such as the Lightning Network, it will result in a diminished requirement for on-chain capacity. The size on the blocks is around 1 megabyte currently, even though it can actually fit heavier data. So because right now you have also block weight, so it is technically it's 2.5 megabytes, and it could be even scaled up to 4 megabytes. But according to him, this is not needed since off-chain transactions don't impact the network as they don't fill them up, the blocks. This is a primary factor why the technology that allows them is seeing such substantial development. Mo clearly believes that the Lightning Network can be a winner in this case. Through this protocol, off-chain Bitcoin transactions can be carried out almost instantly at just 1 Satoshi, he says. However, Mo explained that the lack of user-friendly interface has been limiting its popularity. According to him, this was one of the biggest reasons why the Lightning Network still hasn't achieved the traction that was expected to reach by now. And I agree with that, because I am a big supporter of the Lightning Network. I really want to see Lightning Network get more used and kind of easier to use, because I personally want to open a channel and test it and everything. But unless you are a developer and you know what you're doing, it is actually quite a difficult thing yet. It is not user friendly yet. So hopefully we're going to see some more development happening in this space that will actually bring it more to the mainstream, and we can start using off-chain scaling solutions so that we can have even cheaper transactions. Because at some point, especially when Bitcoin starts going up, transaction prices also start increasing, and this is not really good for usability of crypto, for user adoption. So this is everything for today's video. This is where I'm gonna leave it, guys. Again, excuse me for my blocked nose, but as I mentioned in the previous video, I did have surgery, a small operation that is supposed to unblock it, and now until it recovers, I'm with a completely blocked nose. So this is why I'm speaking so nasal, and it's actually very irritable. So I'm going to wrap it up. This is where I'm going to leave you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying until the end. I'm gonna see you in the next video, which will be the next episode of Crypto Corner, will be on Monday, and that will be at 8 p.m. Universal Time Standard, 9 p.m. UK time. If you're in America, that will be 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Central European time, it will be 10 p.m. and the Central Australian will be 5:30 a.m. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Well, thank you for being here. If you learned something today, consider subscribing. So this is really your way to support this channel. Also here you will find links to my social media accounts. So find me on social media and let's get connected.